this game.
Yeah, Entity love playing it too. Bloodseeker is a hero that they have run many times in the past. They were playing it a lot in, I think, Season 1 of DPC. They were countering a lot of Pangos, but also just picking it. He's been nerfed slightly since, but Bloodseeker's still a good option whenever you see Pango.
Curious to see what they're also thinking, because right now it feels like the first two bans make sense. They're very very meta currently. We've seen a lot of Clockwork and we've seen a lot of Undying. Undying's probably one of those top picks that I've seen. It's okay, so they did ban out the Enigma on the other side. Good. The SF, okay, yeah, that's another hero that is very, very powerful. We actually just saw that in the last game here on the stream, but has been extremely popular throughout the course of these qualifiers and the last chance qualifier.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Super strong, certainly in the current patch, and we see a lot of teams having success with it. So banning out the Shadow Fiend, I'm thinking Team Spirit, they see the Visage, they know what's gonna be on the off lane, and they haven't revealed yet what they have for their own carry. So Entity should probably start thinking which hero can struggle against Visage. We saw earlier it was Ghost playing on his Ursa, completely demolished Zai Visage in laning stage. Granted, there was a lot of tri-lane versus tri-lane action before that, but that was an absolute shutdown of the Visage. She was level 4 against a level 8 Ursa. So could be an aggressive style hero that plays into the Nyx and the Pango as well.
And provides you with a little bit of that vision, gives you the tower push, which is also nice, but again, does have to be careful that you don't get behind in levels that will end up proving to be a really difficult time trying to catch up.
Yeah, Entity taking their time here in this second ban phase. I think it's very important they get it right and get the idea set. The second ban phase is usually the best place to take a lot of time, honestly, rather than trying to go too fast through the draft or finding yourself with a lot of time towards the end. They're gonna ban out the Hoodwink for Team Spirit, so they're scared about that long-range damage paired up with the Nyx and the Pango. Of course, Nyx can look to set up a lot of things. He needs something to combine with his kill potential, though. So something like Hoodwink or Zeus or Invoker could be a big hero for either of the teams here in this game as well.
We do know that Stormstormer really loves playing his Invoker. Definitely.
So does Toronto Tokyo as well. He plays a fantastic Invoker too. So high-rated hero in this matchup, and so far not banned in the second phase here.
Feels like they're going to want to do something to deal with the Sven's Warcry, having that additional armor over on the side of Team Spirit.
Team Spirit's turn to pick.
Yeah, would be nice for him to have something against it, but okay. I mean, now they have some incentive to go for something. I know this hero hasn't been played a lot, but Oracle comes to mind when you see Silencer and Sven. You were talking about the armor. You can actually dispel it with Oracle. But the hero is so sad against Visage, though, is the downside. So perhaps you don't want to go for it still.
Yeah, we've been seeing an uptick on that Silencer, usually run more as a support, sometimes position 5, because the Curse of the Silent now, I believe it's the Arcane Curse, right, that does
Silencer
burst damage during the laning
finding
phase,
himself in a pretty good place right now in the meta, and he straight up got like a nice damage buff recently.
Yeah.
Enchantress.
Oh, okay. Full on Zoo.
It seems to be. Seems like Team Spirit giving themselves nice tools to play aggressive. So this Pango is now looking more like it's going to be a mid Pango, quite likely. With the Beastmaster coming in.
5 seconds remaining.
Are they gonna go? So there's still a Morphling available in the pool, because I'm looking at like what we have, because we've got the Beastmaster most likely going into that off lane, probably paired up. I feel like you usually want a ranged and oh, they get for the Pudge. Okay, all right, interesting. They ran a Pudge earlier today against Beast Coast, and they actually had the Silencer and the Pudge. I believe they won that match as well.
Yeah, they've played carry Pudge in the past as well, and it's also an option to maybe put the Pudge even mid. If you expect the Pangolier here to go mid, I think Pudge could actually win that lane quite hard. You have really high base damage, and the E can block a lot of the swashbuckle damage. So that's also an option here. Entity, I like the draft that they have overall. Silencer is fantastic for team fighting, and this is not the biggest team fight draft that we've seen. Earlier today, we've seen a lot of big, like Magnus and Enigmas and Chronospheres from Faces Voids, but there's Pango ulti and there's Beastmaster, but other than that, both teams prioritizing more skirmishy things with low cooldowns.
It feels like Team Spirit wants to play very, very fast when you consider like they have the Zoo coming out from Beastmaster, you're going to have the Enchantress, who also will have some of those creeps. I'm a little concerned just looking at the draft on the side of Entity because they do have a Pudge, and generally speaking, when we see the Pudge, he tends to want to take a little bit more time to come online. Granted, if he's mid, he's probably going to be a bit more active, but he likes to go for that Agnum Scepter and is not necessarily the most tempo that early on.
Yeah, Pudge needs a little bit of build-up time. Until he gets his Agnums, he's not that keen on fighting, but even so, the rest of their heroes, I mean, if you run Sven as a carry or support, doesn't really matter. He's capable of fighting quite a lot. Visage is always online, and Silencer, he kind of just wants to fight so he can keep stealing the brains as well of his enemy team. This final ban is difficult for Team Spirit. They're digging into their time now. Really not sure what I would ban if you're Team Spirit, because there's so many possibilities here. That this could be a support Sven, this could be a carry Sven, it could be a mid Pudge, could be a carry Pudge. Like the flexing from Entity here is very, very obnoxious for Spirit. I'm assuming they're gonna ban out one of the mid heroes that you don't want to face against when you're Pango. So maybe something even like a Monkey King ban would be fair.
Entities turn to ban.
Or Tiny, yeah. Similar thing there. It's just huge damage, and Pango struggles to get any last hits against it. So I think this is to try and secure a better laning stage. Okay. Also, I hear that Storm has been running a lot of Tiny.
Yeah, I also see the ban on the Brew. That was something that they ran against Beast Coast earlier, so don't want them to get a run back with this draft.
5 seconds.
So what is the core then for the side of Entity? We've seen an uptick on Luna recently, which would also lend itself to playing very, very fast and early.
Yeah, I was thinking Luna for Team Spirit here, actually. I think it could fit really well for them. And the TP ban makes a lot of sense, because Terrorblade is one of the heroes who can bring down Pudge quite easily in the team fights with just tremendous damage. But when you have Beastmaster and Enchantress in your lineup, would be lovely to just have a Luna for that extra tower hitting. So I think you're not a bad call there.
We'll see if that's also on the mind of Team Spirit. And they go with the Lifestealer.
Okay, that's also another counter that you see every now and then coming out against Pudge. So Lifestealer is just a dread to play against this Pudge. It is so terrifying when he locks onto you. Pudge usually doesn't want to go for an early BKB, but if you don't have BKB, you just get slowed and you cannot move, and of course Lifesteal's damage against you is massive due to that feast.
Seems like a pretty well-rounded draft coming out from the side of Spirit. You've got some ways to kind of counter off with this Pudge, depending on, you know, how they want to run it. You've got the vision from multiple sources, right? You've got the Hawks from Beastmaster, you've got Nyx Assassin, who's going to be climbing around. And that's another thing that you've mentioned in the past, too, having a hero that forces them to buy detection, to make your supports even more poor. And there it is. There's the Stormer Invoker, like you talked about earlier.
5,500 games of Invoker or something. Yep, he is. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Toronto plays a fantastic Invoker, but if there's Invoker spammer talk, Stormer is the Invoker spammer in high-level competitive Dota. He seriously spams this hero. He makes me not even look like a TA picker. You know, he has more than double my TA games on his Invoker. So he gets to have it last pick. It was not banned all the way through. There was that potential that he was going to be a mid-Pudge or something. But yeah, Storm on Invoker also means that we're going to have Kataomi on his support Sven here, which is exciting. I think it's quite good against Lifestealer. That speed and armor can really help bail people out against the Lifestealer.
So how do we feel about these drafts? Because when I look over at Team Spirits, it feels like their draft is a little bit easier to execute. And I look over at the side of Entity, and again, Entity likes playing just, you know, kind of very interesting drafts. Like, you know, we don't see the Sports Sen very often any longer. How are you feeling about both of these drafts?
I think I would favor Entity slightly here, and one issue that I see for Team Spirit is that they have 4 melee heroes against the Pudge. And once Pudge gets that Aghanim Scepter, you can struggle a bit with getting close to him. And if you don't have something that, like Terrorblade, who was banned out, right, who can stand far away, dish out tons of damage, then it can become problematic to kill him. They have Lifestealer, but if Lifestealer fails at bringing down the Pudge, then there really could be a big issue for the side of Team Spirit here.
Okay, so there's going to be a lot of eyes on Yatoro, making sure that he can, you know, sort of shut down the Pudge a bit. Is there anyone else that you really want to keep your eyes on for the early game?
I mean, I would probably want to see just a Sven here and how they're going to implement it, because like you said, it's not very popular in the current patch, and it's a creative pick. So for Entity, I would keep an eye on him, and for Team Spirits, the Enchantress is a crucial hero in the early game.
All right, well, it looks like we are made our way into the game now, and we'll have our first matchup here of Spirit versus Entity. So let's dive on in.
Both teams heading out with a smoke, going down to place down the wards. Same thing that we usually see from all teams. And Miposhka is just, he's speedy as hell over here. He's got the boots on Enchantress with smoke. He's rushing down for the ward bottom.
He's already got it in place. Got the Omi, though, leading the charge. Does have Stormhammer leveled. We'll walk right past over here. Smoposhka does get revealed. Not sure if they necessarily saw him, though, with that nighttime vision like we talked about.
Yeah, both teams just dropping some vision. Nice deep ward here by Entity. And they're checking for wards mid, pure, trying to make sure if there's any form of vision. Expecting to see them check on the other side as well, but look at Team Spirit, they're ready to punish if it goes too close.
A lot of pings, very patiently, waiting for that horn to sound.
The battle begins.
Yeah, there's going to be fight on every single rune, pretty much. Visage taking stun there.
Looks like Team Spirit will secure themselves 3. Miposhka sitting very low during all of this. Will just probably back off, heal up, and rejoin the lane with all of that HP missing.
Yeah, I mean, she's a fast hero. She can run back to base and it's going to be completely fine. Bottom lane, we saw Pure do a little hook as well on Beastmaster just to damage him. Mid block is even. Both of them start in the center of the river.
And I'm curious too here in this top lane, with Kata Omi, just seeing the way that they play this. Mira having to be careful though. Again, this is not a particularly strong laner. Nyx Assassin does tend to have some issues. It is usually a bit stronger when it's paired with something ranged, so having Toby on the Visage is going to probably be a boon, but Mira's definitely keeping Kata Omi very busy for the time being.
Yeah, Kataomi doing a good job as well, making sure the Visage doesn't get bothered by Nyx here, but while Nyx is a weak laner, the Lifestealer makes up for it a lot here by just being a powerful last hitter against the Visage. So expecting him to have quite good of a time still.
Seeing a lot of trading in that top lane. How do you feel about this new silencer too? Because we did just get some of those changes in the recent patch.
Yeah, the curse is just straight up stronger now. I think Silencer support mainly was buffed a lot, and I think he's quite useful now, since you can cancel Blink Daggers with it as well. The instant damage on the Arcane Curse. We haven't seen too many teams playing it, but I think he's worth picking up.
I wonder if we'll start to see more of him as the
Oh, they're bringing down Beast.
Yeah, he's sitting very low, and it's going to be Fishman who gets the first blood. Seeing the power of that silencer and the harassment, but of course he is out of mana at this point. Does have some mangoes being brought out now.
Yeah, they got that kill quite easily too. They didn't even need to use a Sunstrike for it. And top lane, we see a lot of damage being taken by Team Spirit. And Team Spirit here, the Lifesteal gets past the Tango over by Mira.
You can see the all the mana regen over on Kataomi. He's got himself another mango. He's got a clarity. Just gonna keep seeing these Stormhammers. I have a feeling just trying to harass as much as possible. Bottom lane, we do land a hook onto Miposhka. Just gonna run him down.
Radiant's bottom tower
That's 2 kills right now. The kills over for Pudge early game are quite impactful because if you get a lot of kills early, you get those Flesh Heap stacks retroactively, which is really nice.
That does feel pretty good. So for those people who are not super familiar with the Silencer position 5, what typically is the build that you're going to want to go?
I doubt that he's gonna get too many items. I think usually just a 4 staff, you know, like that's it. That's your luxury farm. 4 staff is fantastic for him because usually mobility is a problem. But I don't expect him to be getting too many items in this game. He probably has to take a very supportive role and sacrifice himself greatly.
That's one thing that Fishman does pretty well from my experience of watching him play, is he tends to be very sacrificial.
Yeah, I mean, someone has to do it so others can thrive. It's, you know, it's not about having fun when you play Boss 5, it's about winning.
I don't know about that. I think there are still POS 5s that enjoy playing it, but
Radiant's turret
they like taking
has
more of
been
that
killed.
supportive role, not getting all the glory.
The masochists playing without anything.
They like hard mode, you know? It's like people who play Dark Souls. They like a challenge.
It's true.
And the bullying on Miposhka. Look at Pierre. He's looking for a hook. But he's going to just turn his attention back. And the
Sunstrike.
Sunstrike comes in. Boop. There goes Miposhka. No collapse. Taking a decent amount of damage from Pure and Fishman. Need to be careful with those boars.
Yeah, that was really well set up as well. Fishman doing all the hard work there. They threaten with the hook, and that removes a lot of options for where the Enchantress could even run. So the Sunstrike was quite easy to predict since she can't come back. And you see how they work together to set that up.
It's looking very powerful, especially with the amount of harass that Fishman has been able to place using that recently buffed Arcane Curse.
Top lane, the trade never ends between these two. The supports are battling. Kataomi gets the creep wave, gonna pull it down.
Have to be a little careful. We'll pop the war cry. A little bit of armor. Gonna shuffle that courier out of the way too, as now Mira. Stormhammer gets thrown out with the Sunstrike. But
missing.
not enough damage here as Toby chases, but Yatro going to fight back, and Kataomi has to be careful. He might no, he's gonna barely survive that on 24 HP.
Yeah, the creeps coming in and tanking so
Yeah.
much of it.
He's got an impale ready. He's looking for it. It's gonna land over onto Toby. Couple more hits should do the trick. There it is.
That's despite Carapace. He's just taunting Sven now as well. Mira, he's completely fine. This is what we expect to see more though on top lane, that the Lifesteal should be taking over. Bottom, Beastmaster in trouble.
Collapse. He is very dead. Fishman not looking too healthy though, because they do have the Centaur creep, so we'll get a trade in that lane. But of course, you know, Pure very happy. He's got 2 kills under his belt and 1 assist.
Yeah, they have the Centaur creep for now, but you have to be careful as well when Pure will have mana again for hook. He can just hook and kill this creep. So even though you have two creeps that can, or 2 heroes that can bring some creeps to the lane, Punch can also just farm them.
Yeah, Toronto Tokyo actually having to walk all the way back home. So Stormstormer does have his level 6 before here. I mean, it's an Invoker, so
Yeah,
that's what it is, but
he's played it quite well though. He got some experience from that Sunstrike kill earlier as well, so he can get experience from outside of the lane. Bottom. Oh, blocks
bottom,
the...
top lane to Kataomi. He's forced to use that war cry to try to run away. Mid lane, they'll use the Rolling Thunder over onto Stormstormers. Miposhka is here. They've got the Alpha Wolf to try to do enough damage, and by God, they have it. As Pure makes his rotation here to the mid lane, only sitting at level 5 though.
And Visage gets brought down top, possibly Mira with a bit of body blocks,
yeah,
should
Toby.
be doing it.
Everything,
There.
just all hell's breaking loose right now.
Yeah, at the start of that, there was also a really hype thing happening bottom where Collapse was running away from the hook and Pierce gets brought down top, possibly Mira with a bit of body blocks,
yeah,
should
Toby.
be doing it.
Everything,
Yeah.
just all hell's breaking loose right now.
Yeah, at the start of that, there was also a really hype thing happening bottom where Collapse was running away from the hook and Pure was looking for the angle for the hook. But Collapse last second summons a boar that tanks the hook, so he made it out. Some nice use of his summon there to keep himself alive.
Definitely value, and while this going down, Maposhka got all the way down to 14 hit points, as barely making it out alive
Radiant's
from
bottom
Fishman
tower
here.
is under attack.
Yeah, the lanes are very high kill potential all over the board, and we see Sven coming in mid, thinking if he can make a rotation happen here.
See Stormstormer shoving out the lane a little bit as Mira also doing a little bit of scouting, trying to see if there's any stacks perhaps, or where Kataomi is. Do ping it out. Poshka getting harassed yet again by Fishman.
Radiant
Yeah,
are
room
scanning.
control, both teams bringing 6 heroes to the mid lane.
Front Tokyo though seeing an opening. The Stormhammer from Kataomi coming in. They'll follow up with the Sunstrike. We'll try to stand off on the distance here. The Warcry over onto Kataomi, trying to give him a little bit more survivability. The Forge Spirit off to the side. You have in the bottom lane, it sounds like Pure was using that Dismember, but not quite enough damage. Fishman joins back in. Pure sitting so low. This creep. Look at this creep go. It's trying to get the final hit on Pure. Over in the corner, though, Collapse also sitting so low. Ends up being the one to fall. Over in the mid lane, Stormstormer getting jumped on. The Rolling Thunder coming in hot yet again. They will end up losing Stormstormer. Poshka sitting so low. Kataomi making this rotation, throws out the Stormhammer, but not quite enough damage to finish off anyone.
It is such a volatile laning stage. Everyone dying all over the place. Nobody can really stay alive if the rotations come in. But so far, I would say Spirit are off to a better start. They have more stability in the farm. They are not being threatened much on the lifestealer, and the Pango is now at 3.8k gold after those 2 kills that he got.
Yeah, Toronto Tokyo having a very good understanding of how to move and play around with this hero.
Yeah, he's feeling pretty good now. Top, we see a bit of an aggressive move here. Lifestealer wants to dive tower.
He's going for the dive. They land the Stormhammer. Follow up. In comes Pure, though. He's looking to see what he can do. Grabs a hold of Yatoro, and they just need to burst him down a little bit. No, the silence comes into play. The chasing after Yatoro. There's the clicks. They'll ensure that they get the kill.
It's funny that they silenced to stop him from infesting, but the full greed build by Yatoro, he doesn't even have a point in infest at this point. He went full on for the Ghoul Frenzy. Bottom tower being brought down now by Collapse. This is dangerous for Entity. Leaving Beastmaster alone, he will do so much damage in such a short amount of time. You can't really leave him unattended. So the rotation top was nice. They did get a kill, but it's gonna come at a price.
So where's the priority move right now? It feels like a lot of people are moving to defend this top tower. As they make their own, or as they see Mira, they see Yatoro, they'd love to get another kill. Birds will land over onto Mira. Spike Carapace coming into play, but at the same time, not really gonna matter. Yatoro not gonna get hit with that Sunstrike. There's the Dismember going right in. They'll stun lock into place. Toronto Tokyo jumping in, looking to see if he can finish off Toby. Perhaps he does have some walls to bounce off of. Fishman needs to be careful with his positioning. They're just hitting into Toby non-stop, but the hook coming out from Pure, dragging him right back. They have these birds. They're going to be able to go with the stun, and they'll finally kill Toronto Tokyo.
Tries to survive with the Invis, but they had the sentry ready. Beautiful hook there. He could maybe have hooked his teammate to save, but he had a Fishman standing in between. But meanwhile, mid Collapse, no intention of slowing down, pushing mid.
They have the roar available too if they want to try to use it. Fishman sitting very low, using that clarity.
Radiant's middle
Does
tower
get denied. Won't be getting any gold off that.
Dire's
Yeah,
top
nice
tower
to
is under
manage to remove a little bit there, but that is the map opening a lot for Team Spirit. They now have access to the bottom jungle in a very good way, since there's no tier 1 mid tower as well. Cute ward he puts there in the tree line. I haven't seen that one used too much actually. Very, very sneaky.
We mentioned this earlier, that in an interview recently, Maposhka said he wanted to see some map changes because he felt that warding was just way too predictable. So it's interesting to see, you know, what he's been able to cook up in some of these more interesting wards that come into play. Sword though, Mira creeping forward.
Dire's
Yeah,
middle
they have the
tower
Hawk on
is
him, but
nope.
at the same time,
They've got the vision. They drop the sentry, drop the Sunstrike. And the Spike Carapace buys a little bit of time, but it's still going to be a kill for Stormstormer.
Toby getting rolled on
Rolling.
mid lane.
Yeah, the Rolling Thunder coming through. The rest of the team is rejoining, though. Global Signs coming into play. Another big Storm Hammer coming out from Kataomi. The nukes come out, and that's another kill. This time going to Fishman.
Man, Pure has been in 9 kills right now. 9 out of the 11 kills the carry on the side of Entity has been taking part of. Like, it's crazy how he always just happens to be there at the right place. Like, he surely is building up those flesh heap stacks.
This is the most active Pudge I think I've seen so far in this qualifiers. Like, we've seen, you know, some of them that are taking part, but usually, like we said earlier, you know, they want to get that Ags. They take some time to farm up and let their team make the space. But Pierre, like you said, just everywhere. In good position. Yeah.
He's not waiting for his power spike. He just realizes that he can join, and a simple dismember can be so good if you're there at the right time. Like after a Pango roll, he just happens to be right next to him, and the silence makes sure that he can't get away on the Pango. But you have to be cautious if you're Entity, though. The more you join fights, the more you get pulled into these engagements, the more time you give to Collapse to get that split push, and for Lifesteal to get that farm as well.
Do you see that at this point, Pure, he's got himself phase boots, he's got a casual cloak, and then half of the Aghanim Scepter already, which is making pretty good time here, considering.
I think it's smart to not go for the full hood. See a lot of Pudges go for the full hood as well before the Aghanims, but just leaving it a cloak, I think is sufficient a lot of the time, and especially in this game, there's not really that much magic damage coming out from Team Spirit. If they were more magic damage team, oh, the hook from Smoke.
Yeah, there it is, the drag on Miposhka, and that's a dead Enchantress. Good pick off, trying to get that creep too while they're at it. But, Spike Fishman chasing after him, he's not going to be able to get it.
Toby lost both his birds top to Pangolier using 1 Q and 1 W, and the birds died. No resummon.
Kataomi rejoining top, does have a haste rune. Pure also coming in, looking to find this opening. Love to get himself some more kills, I'm sure, but Kataomi just gonna kind of poke back and forth. Mir, though, opening up with the Vendetta and the Impale. Nice save by Pure. He says, get out of there. We're not ready to take this fight just yet. I would like to hit. But they do have a ward over here on the stairs, so they can see who's coming forward into this jungle right now. Hook still on cooldown for another 6 seconds. Pure being that wall in front of his team for the time being.
Yeah, they also missed the Observer Ward just a little bit. They put the sentry right on the cliff, but the Observer Ward again, Team Spirit with Ward surviving. They've had really deep vision now for quite a while, and we're gonna see Team Spirit make a move towards their Beastmaster now. Stormstormer could be trouble. He's under a ward.
Yeah, Mira creeping forward, opens with the Impale. There's gonna be the Global Silence, but they do have plenty of damage here. As he throws out the Tornado, he's not gonna be able to escape it. Follow up with a nice curse on top of it over the back lines. Again, Pure finding Miposhka, but Toronto Tokyo rolling on through. We'll be able to keep Miposhka alive a little bit longer. Kataomi coming forward, does throw out the Stormhammer, but now Pure, he is not looking like he's going to be able to survive the onslaught coming out from Team Spirit, as they'll jump out from that Infest Bomb, and they'll finish off Toby.
Beautiful fight by Team Spirit there. They didn't have the Warcry ready because he TP'd in, Warcry to run over there, but else maybe the Sven could have bailed them out. However, Team Spirit, they don't lose a single hero. I can't believe they actually kept Enchantress alive there throughout that as well. But now I think they're recognizing that Lifestealer is just too strong for Entity to want to deal with him right now. Since they have Pudge as their core, it's not a fun matchup.
No, it's not. I'm curious. I wasn't sure if the Enchantress got off her sprites first, but yeah, it's surprising that she was able to survive that.
Yeah,
They're doing a lot of hunting. Keeping tab on the Stormstormer here top.
Yeah, he wants someone to come help him get that kill though.
I'll just give a poke. Does have Kataomi nearby though, and I like the way that they're playing together. So Stormstormer finds himself in a situation, can just have your Sven back you up with the Stormhammer and the Warcry.
Yeah, they need to play pretty close to each other overall, which they have done so far. Whereas I think Team Spirit have more of an open game where they can sit back and farm a little bit, especially now after removing the tier 2 bottom tower. They have both the outposts. The majority of the jungle farm is theirs. So they can either make a move or they can keep scaling up their item progression.
What would you prefer to see them do?
I think for now, try and make moves when you have Pango ulti ready. So it's ready right now. I would like to see them just try and go for a pick-off somewhere. Looks a bit like they might try and group up for a smoke. Yep. So smoke coming out
Mira
from
has
Team
one.
Spirit.
Again, they have this vision with the Hawk, with the Boar. So you can see Pure over here. He's looking like a pretty big target. Wild Wing opening up the roll forward from Toronto Tokyo. Pure taking a lot of damage. Again, that global silence coming into play. As Toronto Tokyo just going to roll back a little bit. They use the Spike Carapace, and they're going to see if they can finish up port, but they need just a little bit more. Yes, they'll be able to get the kill, but they'll end up losing Mira.
Yeah, they'll happily take that trade though. That's great for Team Spirit. So now they're invading. Immediately after the kill, they look to do something. They go in, try and invade and take over the Ancients here. 17 minutes have hit, so there are new tier neutral items to get.
Radiant are
They
scared.
also get the Dragon on Beastmaster, so he gets the best Overlord creep.
Do walk directly over this ward vision into the pit, but you don't have your pudge for another 14 seconds. I'm not sure if they want to try to contest this. The
They're gonna be,
Stormstormer is making his way over.
yeah, they're gonna be trying, but I think they might be a little bit late. This is so much damage. Beastmaster Aura.
Sunstrike, yeah. You can see Stormstormer, he just backs off. Just a little too late, although they are smoked up on the two supports. If they decide to get very aggressive, might be able to get a pick-off effect. They see Toronto Tokyo. Got a casual Stormhammer into that hook. And that's a pretty nice pick-off for the side of Entity. And a little bit of int going towards that silencer. It's got 16 now.
Yeah, I mean they're they're the team that's scaling, right? They get that int, they get the strength as well. So every single kill makes a big impact for them. Now they're looking to even go towards top, take over this part of the map. As Yatoro just TPs out. He wants none of it. He just wants to keep farming and get bigger.
Trying to get some of these Enchantress creeps, but Pure hunting. Looking to see if anybody's left. Would love to get another hook. Like we said, we've got some infinite scaling going on with this team.
Yeah. I like the item build, by the way, the Yatoro went for in this game. This is something we see quite often whenever Lifestealer is, or whenever Silencer is picked. He's going for the Manta-style second item on Lifestealer. Not typically your Manta hero, but it's so convenient to Dispel in this game. And Dispel is also good against the Visage and even Invoker.
He's got that Aegis for another 3.5 minutes or so. So he's feeling pretty confident. Do you see movement coming out from the side of Entity? They're smoked up. Nero will pop the smoke. Go. Get the dust down. Follow up with that tornado. And Pure just wandering on through. Will be happy to help out get that kill.
Yeah, just tanking the ganks. It doesn't matter too much for him if he dies. He was really close to Blink Dagger though. He's at 2,100 gold. So soon we're gonna see a Blink Nyx. We've seen quite a few different builds whenever Nyx is picked, but he's looking decently farmed here due to all the towers they've taken.
I feel like most of the Nyx games that we have seen has been Zayat's. I think he played 8 games of Nyx during the last chance qualifiers. They
Yeah, I
look
think-
really good.
I think 9 even. Yeah, he
Was
played
it
a
9
lot
at
of them.
the end?
Yeah, I think so actually. I think he got his 9th game in as well. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, it was working out really well for him. But yeah, I think Nyx is a hero that probably should be prioritized higher. Now, trying to go for a Vendetta gank with the Lifestealer Infest. There are good Observer Sentry combinations here though, so he's gonna walk through and get spotted.
Got all the memes about, you know, Abed playing Storm. Zayat's is now the, wake up, Zayat's, it's time to play your Nyx assassin. But yeah, look at this, they creep. Look how fast they're moving away. They show themselves. There's the Infest Bomb immediately jumping over onto Fishman. Fishman, he just doesn't have much for items just yet, so he is going to fall. And they use the Rolling Thunder over onto Kataomi. Toronto Tokyo very far away from the rest of his team. That needs to be a little bit careful because they're going to try to follow up, use the Sunstrike. The bounce back, though, using the Lotus will ensure they get the kill on Kataomi. And now Toby, he has been left behind, is going to try to buy himself a little bit more time by turning himself into that stone form, but they're just waiting so patiently for Toby. And they'll finish him off.
They almost caught Pure as well. They were in the animation of using Beastmaster ulti, but he TP'd out in time. But still, that's 3 heroes going down. They do keep their pos 1 and their pos 2, but a big blow towards Entity again. And all of Team Spirit are trying to find where Pudge left, because they saw him TP away.
Radiant's
Getting
top
so
tower
close to that
is under
BKB
attack.
too.
If you click on the silencer, I feel like this is one of those trivia questions like, which hero is this? Who bought these items in a recent pro game? And I would not have been able to guess silencer, but I suppose it's good armor value at least for silencer. He does use the attack speed decently, but only 1 point glaive.
I mean, he's just super poor, right? And he's trying to get the most bang for buck. I'd love to see him pick up a force staff, like we talked about earlier. I feel like that's super important against heroes, again, like Nyx Assassin, like the Enchantress, the Life Stealer, but he's just, you know, someone had to be the sacrifice, like we said.
I think this is going to be his items, you know. His next power spike is going to be 25 minutes when the Wraith Bands evolve and get twice as strong. But other than that, he has a gem already queued up, which I love that idea. I think generally teams need to buy gem more often and more frequently, especially when you're against both Beastmaster and Nyx. True Sight is so crucial in this game.
I feel like we have been seeing more of the early gem get picked up in a lot of the games we've seen, though. It seems to be trending a little bit more commonly.
Yeah, it's being rated higher, and I guess the difference is that more teams are buying it even when they're on the back foot or when they're falling behind a bit, and not just using it as a tool to get more advantage.
Now, vision is incredibly important, as you can see by all the sentries that have been placed all over the map. Some to, you know, deal with the invis here, some to just make sure that you're getting the vision out of your side of the jungle and getting the jump.
They're doing a good job on Team Spirit right now to play out of vision, by the way. They until they decided to take this outpost, they were hiding a lot of heroes. So Entity were sitting back and not really showing on lanes that much. We saw Visage kind of just hovering, not sure if he can go out. And that's because they're staying off vision so much. And when you have Nyx, that's a powerful move. Like, Entity have to respect Nyx off map and you don't see Lifestealer as well, perhaps, then the gank could be anywhere.
Do end up forcing Stormstormer. Oh, a nice play here from the Nyx Assassin. They'll pop that global science BKB over on Stormstormer. They'll turn back around. They're going to try to defend. And it looks like Team Spirit, they respect this. They will back off.
Yeah, that was costly for Entity using both the global silence and that BKB charge. And the dragon is gonna live. Just walk on out.
Flap those little wings there, ancient black dragon. What a goofy looking dragon.
Yeah, it's got a great portrait. This shard on Beastmaster, by the way, has already paid itself back. It's so good to just be able to root the enemy, holding them still, and dealing that bit of extra damage as well. It's 250 from every bird you send.
Bird v bird battle going on with Visage and then the dive bomb birds over on Beastmaster. So we've had this this Agnum Scepter completed on Pure for a little while now. I'm curious, is it just a matter of waiting for the Blink Dagger 2? They just want to make sure they have this very strong advantage, or is it just that Team Spirit is playing so aggressively that they haven't had the chance to take the opportune fight?
Honestly, I mean, that's the reason we say the Pudge is slow, is that you can get the Aghanims, but then you usually need something more. Aghanims on its own doesn't really mean that you can go head first into team fights. So he does have BKB now. He finished it since the last time they were fighting. He has a 9-second BKB ready. That does make him a little bit more fight ready, but for me, I think it's gonna need like Blink plus maybe Plate Mail, or he's queuing up the Kaya Sanch right now. Could be a big item too.
Alright, well they're smoked up on the side of Team Spirit. Wandering over towards the top, there is Pure nearby. Yeah, look at this. They look at Stormstorm, but they're going to open up the jump onto Pure instantly as all the team comes in. They even get the roar off, so that's just a dead Pudge, despite the attempt to save him coming out from Stormstormer.
Yeah, that was good catch. I mean, they use everything, but it doesn't really matter. Just dump your spells, you get the carry killed. Now they can push.
Fishman. This is feeling pretty scary for him, as Yasuo's going pretty deep, but we'll back off, take the attention to the tower. Katomi throwing out a casual Stormhammer. Nice dodge. Yeah, they're just ripping through the buildings now with that Deso.
I think Entity, when they group up and go S5, are actually quite strong. You saw a Lifestealer hit the Silencer there, like 7 hits or something, and he only lost half HP. That's the carry hitting a +5. Those double Wraith Bands with 25 minutes, plus the Shard from Sven, This shard gives you 7 armor passively to everyone around, so I think for them, they need to group up, play around Sven with the Warcry as well, and then the Beastmaster and Lifesteal will not hit that hard. The physical damage can be mitigated greatly.
Alright, Pure completing the Blink Dagger. Does have a casual plate mail queued up, but you can see that entity. They're trying to take control of this area again. Smoked up, trying to clear out some of these camps. See if anybody's lagging behind. Kataomi doing a bit of reconnaissance here with Toby. Spirit, though, hiding very carefully around this Roche pit currently. They do have one of the Warpine Raiders sitting in the pit waiting for this Roche to respawn.
Honestly, Spirit have done such a good job. What they're doing right now, look at their positioning, both the supports right now. They're literally just choking out the approaches to their own jungle. So if anyone smokes in there, they would smoke on a support. Like, they're guaranteeing that smoke ganks are not happening on their course. And that has been crucial this game so far for them. Multiple times, Entity have tried to make a move and just run into a Nyx Assassin, and it's worth nothing.
Gonna be able to go and grab themselves the bird over there. I'm not sure if that was supposed to be a block on the rune too, because we did have the Pinecone Warrior waiting, and they denied the double damage, so definitely worthwhile. Don't want Pure holding a hand at that.
Yeah, probably not the scariest carry to get it, but still, just controlling the runes with the summons is very handy for them. They have so much vision with Enchantress, Beastmaster taking over the area, and then you also have Nyx running around. They are going to bring down the Dominator creep top, so 253 gold for Pure as he used this dismember.
Oh, nice use of the birds. As they'll get the pick off on Fishman, who's waiting in. Oh, hey, look at this. Look who's up and alive. That's going to be a Roche. But it does feel like they would like to get maybe another pick before getting into that pit. Especially when you consider Toronto Tokyo is bottom. He has boots of travel. He can be there in a pinch.
That
is very scary to fight into that.
Yeah, it's important that he shoves as far as possible bottom to try and force any reaction. If someone goes down there, then they can go into Roche pit. But not gonna go just because one pos 5 did. They're respecting the possibility from the hook too much.
There's Sunstrike going in, trying to keep tabs. On the Forge Spirit.
He changed his quick buy. Sorry, he put back the Blink Mill on Podge as well. Storm.
Okay.
Getting out.
Just trying to get that vision. They have a smoke over on Moposhka. I'm curious to see if they were going to try to make another play, or...
I think
they definitely want this Roche.
Yeah, I think it's time that they look for something now. So they go with the Infest. They have the Blink on Nyx as well, so he can really just close the gap for Lifestealer. They're just
Look how
guarding.
patient Mira is.
Yeah.
I dare you to come this close. Hey, Toby.
So much meat.
Toby, moving forward a little bit. Again, they don't have that protection right there, so Nyx just gonna kind of wander away for the time being.
Yeah, they were trying to control the top rune as well in case it was a crucial rune for the Roche fight, but no rune there. And looks like Entity now are calling possibly to smoke over, but lanes are being shoved, so someone has to deal with mid. They do have intentions to go immediately after this creep wave dies, I think, just judging by how they're moving right now. Perhaps they want to go. But again, these Dominator creeps, they're pushing top with Dominator creeps, Forge Spirits being sent bottom by Stormstormer. Here comes the move though. Team Spirit coming in with the Nyx on Podge.
Creeping, again, opening with that Spike Carapace, that silence coming out. It's Pure, gets off the Dismember, the rest of the team standing nearby, the Roar comes out, the follow-up, can they finish up Pure in time, though, is the question. A little bit more damage getting dropped, yes, they'll be able to take him out, but then Stormstorm finishing up over onto Yatoro. They'll buy back on Pudge. Poshka just chain gunning from such a far distance. We'll be able to finish off Toby as now Kataomi, seeing if he can catch anyone here.
Oh, he has Gem on Enchantress, would be a
managed
big
to
kill.
go and they managed to go find Maposhka. He's popped the sprites, trying to stay alive, but there's a decent amount of damage as they're chasing after him. As over on the back end, though, they do end up losing Fishman. And Maposhka, again, he's like a little bit like a tank.
The untouchable.
Sure.
They can't hit him.
That untouchable is a real deal. Right, Mira looking for the opening, will be able to land over onto the Pudge. Another buyback coming out from Fisher. Stormstormer is just taking too much damage.
No,
Oh my word,
Maposhka solo killed
They jumped on
Stormstormer.
this
He Hurricane
Enchantress. They
Piked
figured
him
we
and
could take
killed
an
him.
Enchantress 5. They could not handle it. As Pure now with that Spike Carapace from Mira
Look
is
at this
causing problems to
Enchantress.
Maposhka. He's just taken over, it feels like. This guy's dishing out all the impetus. Can they find Kataomi here? No, Kataomi will be able to teleport out. Pure popping the BKB gets the boar, but not going to be able to get anything beyond that. Oh man, Fishman, I believe he bought back during that fight. The dive bomb will be able to secure kill. So they take out the silencer. They've lost the invoker.
That was
What a fight.
That was a pretty interesting fight because it started out with both teams losing their carries. Both Pure and Yator on his lifesteal went down immediately there. And then it was really Enchantress doing all the damage. She killed the Visage almost on her own. And here we see Invoker was trying to chase over on the Enchantress, and we just see the spears flying in. The Impetuses actually manages to kill him completely on his own.
Imagine if they had Sprink on Maposhka. Oof.
Yeah, that was a case of just Entity getting greedy though and trying to get more.
Oh.
They wanted more.
They're teleporting in. Immediately, though, they spot him out. They see Stormstormer. They get the roar. He's just absolutely dead. Buys back immediately. The chase is on over after Toby. Toronto, Tokyo rolling around. Pure, though, over on the back end. Does manage to get his hands on Collapse, but that Spike Carapace doing damage. Again, just canceling out the Dismember. They'll get the kill on Pure. Down for 86 seconds. This Roche belongs to Team Spirit.
My poor boy. I'm sitting here trying not to be biased, but now I'm crying. Yeah, that was a bit of miss micro there, sending in the birds with the travel on the Invoker. We're gonna go ahead and blame the Visage for that. That is his fault. He was driving the cab. We didn't see where it was going. But that is Pure now dead as well with no buyback for 60 seconds. Aegis in hand. Team Spirit are in a great position to just crack the high ground and get some racks here.
Got the ancient granite golem just
Radiant's courier has been
whacking away over at the tower.
Radiant's top tower is under
Yeah, and Lifestealer, there's nothing that can really stop him if he just stands here and hits. They don't have that great poke into him, and of course he can keep healing himself as well. He has the shard ready. If someone comes close, he can slow them.
He's got Aegis for another 4 minutes because he just picked it up, so he's feeling very, very powerful. And I don't think Entity can take him down twice. As Toronto Tokyo does just teleport back in, joining the rest of the teams. They make the rotation top. They are going to have the punch up in about 16 seconds, but it's still be a little bit difficult. They'll open up with a EMP Tornado, but they just immediately shrug it off. Entity, though, they get jumped on by Toronto Tokyo.
Yeah, he's creating
Just
space.
pushing them away, absolutely, as they can hit these buildings. They do manage to take another tower. They have all 5 up as Pure goes in for the hook, manages to go and grab Maposhka. That Lotus Orb coming into play, though, will bounce back over onto Kataomi. They do end up losing Maposhka. Now Mira trying to climb away. They have the vision. They had the Infest Bomb. Yatoro popping out. They've already lost Mira. They'll turn their attention to Kataomi, get a couple of these clicks off. They're silenced. The drag back again from Pure. The nukes are there. The Lotus. All right, they'll be able to take him down the first time. Gem down on the deck, but it's going to pop right back up again. And I don't know if they have. No, they just aren't going to be able to contest now as Yatoro just walks away.
Beautiful hooks by Pure, though, landing multiple there. Doing a backwards hook for style points in the fountain while he's waiting. See if he can land any backwards hook on the enemy in this game as well. Yeah, we have a replay, and we see the first hook there. I think Enchantress going down is super important for Entity. They cannot ignore Ench. Too many games we've seen where Enchantress just... Oh no, Stormstormer in the game. Gets caught.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yep, he is very dead.
Yeah, the gem on Beastmaster, he just walks past them and they see him, they catch him. They have a basher on the Pango. 90
Wow,
seconds.
Lotus Orb completed for the position 5 Enchantress already.
Yeah, she's a position 5, but she also has gotten quite some damage done and quite some kills in this game. She got 5 kills to her name and been part of a lot more with all her assists. Now with 75 seconds dead Invoker, we again see Team Spirit just going for it.
There's a lot of bounty runs over here on the
It's a
ground.
treasure cove.
That was a treasure chest for sure, yeah. Collapse, more than happy to pick these up.
Almost 30,000 gold lead right now. Nyx going in.
Gonna make the jump onto Pure immediately. Good force step forward though. Gotta keep him alive. The Rolling Thunder though coming up from Toronto Tokyo, and that's gonna be the BKB popped over on Pure. Throw the Lotus Orb out over onto Toronto Tokyo. Doesn't want to fully hard commit because in the bottom lane, Yatoro is already putting some pressure down. We'll get the Lotus Orb put on himself to bounce back any of these stuns, potentially. The jump forward, though, from Toronto Tokyo just absolutely blows up Fishman, even though he went for the hook to try to save him. Tension placed over onto the tower.
Nice play by Mira, blinking forward, dropping those Warden sentries behind the tower, and then just sitting around to stun whenever someone comes to deward them.
Oh, the jump over onto Kataomi. Casual
Dodging the
hook
hook.
from Pure, hoping, you know, maybe I'll catch something. All these birds, though, they're taking a lot of damage. Nice get Roar over onto Toby, trying to force staff him away, but Toronto Tokyo closing the gap with some help from his friends. They'll be able to get mega creeps, should they want them. The buyback now coming out from Toby. But that is the mega creeps. They do manage to grab a Poshka, so they'll be able to get themselves a consolation prize, but the rest of the side is Spirit. On their way out, Pure, they're considering going back in. The Rolling Thunder plus the Lifestealer Bomb jumping over onto Toby. The pop out immediately. It doesn't matter. They have so much right-click damage. They're just ripping them apart. It's a triple kill now for Yatoro. They call GG. Team Spirit just running away with this game with a 37k lead. And they'll pad the stats. They'll get one more kill.
Yeah, like you said, they were just way too far ahead in gold there. They managed to grab themselves more and more of an advantage in this game. I would like to say this game credited almost entirely here to the performance by Mira. I think he played such an outstanding game on his Nyx. And also the Vision game overall from Beastmaster helped so much.